a disk floating through space with a tiny sun.
Hey, I'm FTFE, welcome back to the channel that does to stupidity what Bob Nadell did to the notion of a non-rotating Earth. Thanks, Bob. Okay, so today, the main point of this stream is we are responding to Gary Weybenga and his inability to understand crayons and not know how to get the angle to Polaris using the EQ mount, which Red amazingly demonstrated in his last video that he made on the channel about EQ mounts. But before we do that, we have a little bit of drama to address. Now, to be clear, this is the first and only time that any of this nonsense is going to be addressed on my channel, and it's mainly because one particular person has pissed me off monumentally, and that is Negative Exponent, who has basically taken private conversations between me and him, gone running to Unicock, spreading a bunch of discontent within the community and accusing people that have tried to help someone who recently lost a family member of being scammers. Now, I'm going to let Reds explain exactly what's going on, and he's got a couple other people with him. So, Reds, over to you.
Yes, absolutely. So I want to thank Vegan Atheist for being here, as well as Onskar. So thank you guys for being here. But I want to make sure that people understand. Negative Exponents was a cool dude. The key word there is was. I'm going to explain exactly what happened, and then we're going to get right back to debunking Flat Earth, because that's what this channel is about. We don't want to spend too much time on this, and then at the very end of this hangout, at the end of this show, I'm going to be posting a link in the live chat that is to a video that I have waiting to be shared. So when you guys click on that, once you guys are done watching this stream, please click on that video and you'll see all the shit that we had to deal with over the last few weeks. It's quite disgusting, to say the least. So yes, Negative Exponents has done some really fucked up shit. So let me just dive into this, because tonight we're putting the shit to bed. But yeah, we want to make sure that people understand why Negative Exponents will no longer be in our side chat any longer. I'm sure Craig is going to share some facts of his own, but we'll get to that in a moment. First, I want to set the scene. On December 26th, 2020, so roughly 3 months ago, our good friend Booleanator passed away. He died suddenly of natural causes. His loss was felt all throughout the community. He was known in the community very well. He was respected. He even produced for Fight the Flat Earth a few times. He was a good producer, and he was the main man that made the Non Sequitur show a success. It was absolutely amazing to have him as a friend. Absolutely amazing to have him as a friend. After his death, there was a fundraiser set up for his family. The fundraiser was a success and all was good. So what is the problem? The problem is that Negative Exponents swallowed the shit of a hateful, slanderous moron who has said in the past that Ancient Aliens was compelling and that the phases of the moon are caused by Earth's shadow. I shit you not. These are very serious people that Negative Exponents is now gobbling the nuts of. So, skipping a lot of details here. The hateful douche that made the claim, or the hateful douche that Negative Exponents is sucking up to, made the claim that the fundraiser we had for Boole was fraudulent, that we used our dead friend to fraudulently enrich ourselves. Let that sink in for a moment. The claim is that we used our dead friend to enrich ourselves. That is fucked up beyond all measure. So, Negative Exponents, in an effort to give this little turd some street cred, decided to make the claim that we weren't transparent with the fundraiser and that this guy was justified for making the claims that he made. So I called out negative exponents, and after a bit of a conversation, he agreed with me on everything. That yeah, this dude is jumping the gun and blah blah blah. But anyway, he then started going to this other guy, the douchebag whose name I will not mention because he's a disgusting piece of shit. Started going to him with our private conversations, and also making up lies about what transpired in those private conversations. When I confronted him on this, he said that the receipts weren't good enough. The receipts we showed for the care of Boole's service dog, Dexter, weren't good enough. That the hotels weren't good enough receipts, and that we must have stole the money and somehow, or that it's questionable, or some shit like that. Anyway, so he sent this message, and I do quote from his DMs with me. Now, if you are willing to go into another Hangout call and show me the unredacted fuel and lodging receipts except for any personal information and everything checks out, not only will I leave that comment, but I will make a public apology. This guy offered to give me a public apology for even pretending that this fundraiser was fraudulent. So I took him up on his offer and I said, then expect a call in 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, I will call you negative exponents. I will show you the receipts. And this is why Vegan Atheist is here today, because guess what? Negative exponents never showed up to that call. So I scheduled with him again. Let's go ahead and have this call. I will show you the unredacted receipts to show that this fundraiser was absolutely legit. And Vegan Atheist was there, and Onskar was there. And Vegan and Onskar, I'm going to ask you to be 100% honest here. Do you remember me calling you? Do you remember us trying to get in contact with them? Describe what transpired. Vegan, you first.
Hi, for those that don't know, I'm Vegan Atheist Coral, and I'm sorry that we have to kind of go through this. What I remember is just a slightly different, but pretty much the same. I remember getting contacted. It was, gosh, I don't know. I was still working, and I was up late, so it was 1 a.m. or something along those lines that I got a text. Saying, hey, can we talk? And I was like, you're like either tonight or tomorrow. And I was like, yeah, sure. And it sounded like it was really important though. So we got on to the thing and I quickly got on a call. You sent me a link and we went over and you kind of told me that there was a guy that was within the community, and the only reason why we really were like wondering what was going on was because this guy was someone who was in the flat earth debunking community. And so and I was like, oh, okay. And so you told me about the fact that you wanted to show the receipts exactly as they are. The only differences was that you want to make sure that, of course, my personal information was blacked out, because obviously that you guys don't need that information. And then we just really quickly went over the receipts to make sure that there wasn't anything that needed to be redacted that was missed. I think we missed a hotel room on one of them, and we went and made sure that everything was good to go. And then we went ahead and scheduled the, I guess you had already scheduled with him that it was going to be the next day at, I think it was like 11 o'clock my time, or 11 or almost 12 my time. And so I, since I had a really busy day planned with the rescue and with all of the other stuff that I had going on, I was like, okay, I can go ahead and pencil in an hour real quick to go over these things, because if somebody has a real honest concern, I want to be able to talk with them and let them know, and work it out. And if there is an issue, then I definitely want to address it. It's very honesty and integrity is obviously something that's very important to me. And so, I was very happy to do that. And unfortunately, the person didn't show up. And so that kind of miffed me, as well as, some other people, because we legit sat in that for like, what was it, an hour and a half? Like, legit sat there
can you
waiting.
confirm that it was multiple times?
Yeah. Well, because I was like, okay, I'm going to get back to work because I can't sit here all day. And, I got to clean bunny enclosures. We got stuff that we got to do. And I said, if he changes his mind, let me know. I'll hop back on. And there was after I got done doing bunny enclosures and all of that stuff, I got I think it was a Twitter DM from you. Hey, is there any chance you can pop on a little later? And you gave me the time. I forget what time it was. I can look it up. I'm sure you have it down. But and I was like, yeah, we can go ahead and do that. And then so we popped on again, and yeah, so. We were on. We tried 2 separate times, and it was a no-show both times. So that really sucks. I mean, I don't mind doing these things, but wasting my time. I promise I won't waste your time if you don't waste mine, and that's all I really ask of you. If anybody has a concern with any of these things, please do not hesitate to reach out. But please show up. That's really all I got.
And Ansgar, I want to give you a brief moment because I do want to get to a conclusion on this so we can debunk some flurf. But Ansgar, you were called to witness this shit. Can you confirm just very quickly that you were there waiting for this guy to show up and he just didn't?
Yeah. So just some quick little bits here. So it was February 8th that you and I first talked about the drama even going on, and I kind of advised you just let it go. Maybe he'll stop talking about it. Then it was February 21st that you contacted me and asked me if I could be witness to the conversation. You also in that first conversation where we talked about the drama, you had already shown me all the receipts and everything. Then we actually had the meeting later on February 21st. We sat there and we waited and waited and waited. He didn't show up. And then we met again later on February 21st, and he didn't show up yet again.
So just to be clear, I'm going to compact this all I'm just going to compact it as much as I can. Mm-hmm. Negative exponents made the claim that slander that was being said against me, Vegan Atheist, Astronomy Live, Sean Huffer, the people who made Bull's fundraiser a success, negative exponents made the claim that that slander was justified in some way, shape, or form. After being called out on this shit, he said, if you show me those receipts, I will make a public apology. I took him up on this offer. I set up a phone call, and I waited for him for an entire day to show up to the call that he fucking wanted to have happen, and he never showed up to see the receipts that he himself was asking for. Now what he's doing is that he, instead of making an apology and saying, yes, I jumped the gun there, you guys didn't use your dead friend to fraudulently enrich yourselves. Now what he's trying to say is that Sean Hufford is a scammer for some unrelated reason regarding a fundraiser back in 2019. Because this is what this douchebag does. Back in 2020, the person who likes to make slanderous statements like this in regards to fundraiser tried this shit in the past. He failed. Negative Exponents was a friend of this guy for some fucking reason and decided to back him on the slanderous statements being made against me and everyone around. So negative exponents will not be in our side chat anymore because he has sided with a liar. He has not done his due diligence to find out what is really going on, even though he was given the red fucking carpet to come into the call and see the receipts for himself. And now he's trying to get away from the fact that he screwed the pooch in that regard by bitching about a totally separate fundraiser from back in 2019. So that's what's going on. And at the very end of this stream, I'm going to present a link that I would like all of you to go watch. A lot of work went into it, but I think you all should watch it because this kind of shit should not be tolerated by anyone in this community, whether you are pro-flat earth or pro-globe, whatever. We should honestly respect each other a little bit more than the shit that negative exponents was spewing. With that, Craig, it's all you at this point.
Okay, thank you. So all I want to say is that this is it. This is over, right? No more talking about this. Somebody died, right? A friend of mine died. A friend of this community died, and people have been using that to spread lies about people, and it's made my blood boil. I've tried to stay silent, but then someone else that I thought was my friend has gone behind my back and used private conversations to then spread lies about me online. So I just wanted to clear the air. But that is it. Vegan Atheist, and thank you very much for coming. I do appreciate it. And
Onscar.
And Onscar, sorry. Yeah, and Onscar, thank you very much for coming. I do appreciate
Thank
it. So what we're going to do now is debunk some flurf. Drama over, done. Moving on. Rest in peace, Ballinator, and that is the last that I hope will be said about this.
Exactly. I want to make it clear we will not be talking about this ever again. And Vegan, Onscar, thank you so much for joining. If you could politely leave the room, I will be contacting you after the show is done. But thank you so much, guys, for being here and just backing me up on this. Yeah.
There may be things said by other people about this, but we will not be responding or talking about it anymore. This channel is drama free. I know we've just done a little bit of drama, but it needed to get cleared, and from now on, that's it. Just debunking idiots, all right? If you hear someone saying stuff, don't tell us. I don't want to care. That is it. Our piece is said. Watch the video that Reds will release. Now moving on. So
moving on, and by the way, R.I.P. Bull.
Rip Bull. R.I.P. Bull. You were an amazing person. You taught me how to use vMix, basically. So thank you. So,
all right. So anyway, there is a guy by the name of Gary who decided that he was going to break out his own crayons or pencil or whatever, and after shoving it up his nose a few times, decided to make a video with said pencil and paper, and oh my god, it's hilarious. So, guys, today I decided that we should just do a live debunk, because I like doing this shit live, and the reason is because I want to show how quickly you can actually debunk the shit that Gary is saying. It's fucking hilarious.
Well, let's be clear. He did get one thing right, and that's that you work for me. Well, you don't really work for me. I've kidnapped you, and you're in my basement. I force you to do my bidding, otherwise you don't get food or water. So, you know, he was right about that kind of aspect of things, but he's not right about anything else. Let's get that clear.
Yeah, basically, let's talk about the science. The science is what he's definitely wrong about. As far as you kidnapping me and locking me in your basement, that was very, very rude, but he is correct on that front.
Would you like to be fed today?
You know what? Let's just get to the debunk. Let's just get to the debunk.
Right. So should we bring up the dumbasses video and
yes, please. Let's do this shit.
Oh, why is it not playing? All right, give me 1 sec.
And all because and just to make sure that that we are clear on something, I gave Gary a challenge. Plot out the points and show them meeting at Polaris, because he said that I did my graph wrong, as we will see. So let's see. Let's just see.
God,
this was in response to a challenge I gave Gary. Let's see Let's
Right.
see how we did.
Give me one sec. vmix, it's just updated, and apparently the update has broken the ability to import a link. So I'm quickly going to download the video.
Oh, jeez.
Yay! Yay for updates that break stuff that worked before.
Unfucking real. Unfucking real. And you know, so to give people a little bit of backstory, I uploaded a video on this channel talking about the EQ mount and how it absolutely destroys the flat Earth.
Like,
naturally, a
murders
whole
it.
bunch of flat earthers got triggered. They got triggered by the facts and evidence that completely shit on their magical space pancake. So what I did was I
pancakes.
showed that. What I showed was that if you were to use an EQ mount and you were to go from north to south and you were to plot the angle the EQ mount has to be at in order for it to work properly at different latitudes, that plotting them out does not comport with the flat Earth model. Plotting them out only comports with the globe model. So Gary took exception to this and said, "Oh, if you only plotted them properly, you would see that they will all meet at a point." Because in my video, they didn't. If you were to plot all of these points on a flat Earth, they render contradictory answers to where Polaris is and even the direction of Polaris. In fact, some of them put Polaris not over the North Pole. In fact, I think none of them actually put Polaris over the North Pole.
No,
so
it gives it a very definite position, and it's not where you would expect it to be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If we were to do the actual trig on this, you would get contradictory answers for the position and the direction of Polaris in the sky. It's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. Right, so let's have a listen to Gary Weybenga, or Nick Dipshit, as we affectionately call him over this side of the fence, being a complete dumbass.
Okay, I'm doing a critique of a video of a debate between Fight the Flat Earth, Red's Rhetoric, and Bumpy Earth. Red is trying to make a graph here to represent angles from the ground to Polaris, and he's making the claim that they won't work on a flat Earth. Now his green line across is what he would consider the flat Earth. This is an orthographic view.
Red, why do all flat earthers sound so fucking boring?
Well, the reason is well, actually two. One, because they are fucking boring. They have the sex appeal of a Pop-Tart, a old moldy Pop-Tart, and
I'll have you know I'm
also,
Pop-Tart sexual.
I mean, I'm talking. No. Don't get me wrong. Pop-Tarts. Listen. From a true friend. You guys are amazing, but when you are old and you have mold on you, you're not very sexy anymore. And Gary is an old moldy Pop-Tart. And secondly, his audio equipment just sucks.
Yeah, I've tried to turn it up, but that's like literally the maximum it is letting me put it, because I've already put it up quite a bit. Nope, that's as high up as it'll go. So just listen a lot, guys.
He has a problem here. He plots his locations incorrectly.
That's better.
Much.
What he has is, he has Lisbon, Portugal at 38 degrees, and he has somewhere in Oregon at 42 degrees. Now he has the Lisbon one, is the one on the left, at 38 degrees. But then he plots the Oregon one at 42 degrees to the right of it, which is the opposite way he should have gone.
Do you want to respond to that?
No, actually, because the main point that I was trying to make is that there is no way that you can plot these points to make it work. So in the original, I was doing this live. And I was quickly trying to make a graph to show that they will not work on a flat Earth. And so yes, the plotting of the points are plotted in different spots than what they would be given their latitude. I accepted that, which is why I made the EQ video in the first place. See, what he's doing is he's trying to debunk a older video where I acknowledge that I made a mistake, that I did plot them in the wrong spot, and ignoring the update that I did to that point, which was the entire standalone video on its own.
Yeah,
he ignored that. This video was made after the posting of my EQ video.
So you admit that you plotted them backwards during the live stream?
Yeah, I plotted them backwards, or one was in the middle.
And just to confirm, you are human-ish, right?
Yes, I am human-ish, and I am prone to human error.
Yeah,
and
right.
Yes, and guess what? Guess what? I said that even if you flip the points, adjust the points, whatever, it will never, ever work on Flat Earth. And he is going to demonstrate what I'm saying in a moment.
Okay, let's listen to Gary be derpy some more.
He should have had Oregon on the right side and Lisbon on the inside. If his vertical line on the left-hand side of the graph, you go up, and that's where Polaris, his angles are drawing up somewhere up there towards Polaris.
There we go, up the gain of it.
Well, the further out, Polaris would be 90 degrees straight up from north. So North Pole is 90 degrees. Equator would be 0 degrees latitude.
Wait,
so anyhow,
pause that right there.
Means the
Yep, 1 sec.
number...
Pause. Yep.
Notice what he said there. What he said was that at the North Pole, you would be looking straight up from 90 degrees. Make sure you guys remember that. That is going to be important later. So where would Polaris be? It would be straight up over the North Pole. Remember that. That's going to become important later.
Okay.
On the inside angle from the ground would be a higher number the closer it is to Polaris, and a lower number the further away from Polaris. He has this backwards. He has the lower number closer to Polaris, and he has the higher number inside angle further from Polaris.
Yeah, but it still doesn't work,
It's just
does it,
the
Gary?
opposite. He did this
Never
wrong.
does.
He did his graph completely wrong. He's going to add a third point a little bit later, and I believe that one was his location in Florida. And he's going to plot that one closer to Polaris than the other two, and it will be at 28 degrees.
Oh no, she made a
Location in Florida.
mistake.
It should have been plotted
The points
somewhere
were
to the far right
backwards, but
of
they
the
still
first two
demonstrate that they're not going to meet.
locations he plotted of Lisbon and Oregon. Red's going to make a fool of himself, and so is Fight the Flat Earth, because they're going to treat the Flat Earther they're debating as if he's an idiot because he doesn't understand their graph. Well, of course he doesn't understand it. It's completely backwards.
No, the reason the flat earther that we were debating didn't understand the graph is because the flat earther we're debating is one of the dumbest people on the planet, called Hip Hop Hippie, in the chat now under the pseudonym Bumpy Earth. So congratulations, Bumpy Earth, for, and I seriously mean this, being involved in, I think, 5 of the worst defeats Flat Earth has ever had in debate. So good job. Well done. Flat Earth thanks you.
Lol.
2 degrees for Southern Oregon or whatever.
Oh god,
So-
oh god, stop.
What has he done to
Stop.
his audio?
Jesus Christ, what the fuck was that?
Well, I'd upped the gain a bit so we could hear him. So now I need to take the gain back down.
Ow, that was
Don't know why there's a
that
number.
was horrible.
Well, is that actually
That
on
was
his
fucking
video?
horrible.
I'm
Dude,
confused.
Gary, tip from the top, my guy. If you're gonna
Because
make a
they're gonna
video,
treat
fix
the
your
Flat Earther
shitty
debating
audio.
as if
Well,
he's
that
an
is
idiot
actually
because he doesn't
on his
understand
video.
their graph.
No, that's...
Well, of course he doesn't understand it. It's completely backwards.
yeah, he
Okay,
does-
can we
he does
just
submit
can we
here.
just skip to his fucking graph thing? Can we just skip to
2
his
degrees
fucking?
for
That's the main thing I want to address.
Oh, just your own closer. That's weird. As soon as I
God, where is his graph
they
thing?
converge, do any of them.
Was it?
Pause that shit. Let me find it for you. Let me just get a time code because
Is it
holy
downloaded
fuck,
weird or
dude.
something? Because I don't remember it being like that.
Because that was absolutely horrible. Okay, so go to 12 minutes and... Oh, no, go to 11 minutes and 50 seconds.
Yeah, I think it's downloaded weird, so give me a sec. I'm going to try and download it again.
I don't think it's downloaded weird. That shitty audio is actually on the original. I'm watching it right now.
Is it? Oh.
Yep. The shitty audio stops at 11 minutes and 50 seconds. So just...
Going up to Polaris.
Oh, so it does. Oh, fuck's sake, Gary.
The North Pole. The well red.
So go to 11 minutes 50 and let's play it from there.
Yep, here we go.
Well, red is out getting
Alright,
his
I'll have the
other
gain again.
location to plot on his graph incorrectly. I made a correct version. You see my vertical line on the left-hand side going up to Polaris. The bottom is the North Pole. The bottom line going across horizontally is the flat Earth. I drew the angles down. You can see Oregon is at 42. The next one to the right is Lisbon, Portugal.
Is the picture moving? No, no. Everyone in the chat's saying, oh, the picture's frozen. No, that's just him. Sorry. I was just checking.
Polaris. So I put Oregon first, I put Lisbon second, and Florida is farthest out. It's got the lowest number of degree angle up to Polaris. Now if you look, they're all pointing up and coming to a point on Polaris.
I just want to say, Gary is in the chat. For this stream, guys, there is no timing out of Gary Weybenga. Unless he says hateful things, obviously timing out. But for this stream, the Vicky treatment is suspended. And Gary, the invitation to come on and defend yourself is absolutely 100% there. Send me an email and I will send you the link to join this call. And you can come and defend this awful, awful video that you created that was so bad, I thought it had broken when I downloaded it. That's how bad your video is, okay? But yeah, chat, please do not time out Gary. Let him defend his nonsense. Even if he refuses to come on, he is actually welcome in this chat as we are talking about him. Is that fair, Reds?
Oh yeah, that's absolutely fair. I want him to be able to explain himself once we completely rip apart this this diagram that he's showing us. You know, his graph. So let me so let's go ahead and take a look here. People can still see Gary's little drawing right here, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, Gary, listen, man. Tip from the top. When I said plot it yourself, I meant actually plot it. This right here, this is all hearsay. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this properly and in real time. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, brothers and sisters, we're going to see how long it takes to debunk Gary's claim that these three lines actually meet at a point. That is his claim. His claim is that these three lines...
I want to clarify here what he's saying. So he's saying that based on actual measurements that we know are true, that the EQ mount would have to angle to look at Polaris from its location, that if you map them out, they would meet at that point.
Correct.
And where is he saying that point is?
He's saying that that point is over the North Pole, and that's why I asked people to remember that he said that. So remember that he said that Polaris is over the North Pole, and that these altitude angles that are supposedly been able to get in reality, that this shit done to scale, that all the lines are going to meet at Polaris, and Polaris will be found to be over the North Pole, that it all comports with a flat Earth. So that is his claim. His claim is that the EQ mount altitude angles do not contradict the flat Earth model, that they all agree for a position for Polaris, and that they all agree that Polaris is over the North Pole. Good?
Yep. Okay.
I think that's good. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, brothers and sisters, What I would like for you to do is to break out a stopwatch. We are going to time how long it takes just anybody to debunk this nonsense, because the altitude angle of an EQ mount is proportional to your latitude. So if you're at 43 degrees latitude, then you have to angle your EQ mount 43 degrees, blah, blah, blah. So we can easily find these values. So break out a stopwatch, and when I say go, start the stopwatch. Let's see how long it takes for me to debunk Gary right here. All right? So
okay. All right. I'm just trying to see if I can actually get...
You're going to break out a stopwatch on your own?
I'm trying to see if I can put one on the screen, but I've never done it before, and I don't know how to.
All right, and guys, when I say stop on the stopwatch, I want you all to post your time of how long it took me to debunk his sorry ass. And Craig, I assume I have the ability to
say I'll let you screen share. Just say go, and I'll ask my computer to start a timer.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, brothers and sisters, ready, set, go.
Computer,
all right, I am
start
now
a timer.
Screen sharing. Okay, so if you guys can see my screen, and I hope you guys can, we're going to start with Brothers Oregon.
One second, let me get it up for people.
Don't stop the watch, guys. Let's add this.
Where is it?
Waiting on you, motherfucker.
Okay, right, I'll just do it this way. Sorry, 1 second.
Don't stop the stopwatch. I want to give Gary as much of a head start as possible here.
There we go. You're up.
Perfect. So again, don't stop the stopwatch. So we're going to start with Brothers Oregon, which is at 43.8. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up a little notepad here. We're going to do 43.8 degrees for Brothers. Perfect. Now, what was the second point that he mentioned? Oh, was it Lisbon or some shit like that? So latitude of Lisbon. So let's find out what that one is. And that one is at 38.7. So we will bring up our little thing again. So 38.7 for Lisbon. And the last one we'll do Tampa, Florida. Because why the fuck not? So let's do Tampa, Florida, which will be at 27.9 degrees. Absolutely beautiful. So Tampa is 27.9. So now let's find out the distance. Now, Craig, correct me if I'm wrong, but on the flat Earth, from the North Pole going straight down, or I should say away from the North Pole on the flat Earth, the distances are correct. As represented on the flat Earth, from the North Pole straight back, they are correct.
If we're talking about the azimuthal equidistant projection map, then yes, distances north to south are correct.
Perfect. Then this dipshit should have no fucking problem for us finding this out. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go to the North Pole. Yippee! And let's start. Yeah, I know. It's amazing, isn't it? So we're at the North Pole. Let's tack it right there. And we're going to figure out how far away we need to go, because we want to make this shit to scale, so kilometers. So let's say...
That's not what the North Pole looks like. CGI.
Yeah.
Debunked.
Yeah, of course. So first, let's go to Lisbon, Portugal. All right, so we are now going to see how far away Lisbon, Portugal is from the North Pole. And it is about 5,714 kilometers. So let's go ahead and put a point down for Lisbon. We'll just call it LIS equals on the x-axis. What was that? 5,000 something. So that one was 5,714. Perfect. 5,714 on the X, 0 on the Y. There we go. And beautiful. So if we were to zoom out, you'll actually see the point that is listed. We have to zoom out because we're using actual distance, actual kilometers, because we're making this shit to scale. So there's the point. Let's also make another point for the North Pole, which we will simply call NP. 0 on the X, 0 on the Y, and there it is. Absolutely gorgeous.
Now, I just want to take 1 minute, all right? Everyone look at what Reds is doing and compare this to this. Wait, no. to this.
Keep the timer running, guys. Keep the timer running.
The flat earther is doing. All right, this is what the flat earther is doing on a not even graph paper, just single ruled paper, and this is what Reds is doing. Just take that into account.
Perfect. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line. So we're going to make a line from here to here. And to not confuse the flat earther, because flat earthers get easily confused.
By tying shoelaces and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So what we're going to do is we're going to make that line green so that it represents the Earth. Because again, we have to break out the crayons when describing shit to flat earthers. Now, in Lisbon, what was the angle that we found? Oh, in Liz, it was 38.7 degrees. So what we can do is we can use this tool. So let's go here and here. Let's make this counter clockwise.
Wait, you mean something that's got a tool appropriate to the thing that you want to do?
Correct, absolutely.
Not using a two single. Wow, amazing. Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, well, it's 37 something, wasn't
it? So for Lisbon, it was Portugal. It was 38.7 degrees. So now that we have a angle for Lisbon, let's go ahead and draw a ray down. So that is a line from here to the angle, and we can hide this point since it doesn't matter, but there's our first line of altitude. Now, what's the next one? Let's go to Brothers, Oregon. So we will clear that out. Let's go to Brothers, Oregon. Brothers, OR, and boom. All right, so now we are going to fly to Brothers, Oregon. And what we're going to do is we're going to measure the distance from Brothers, Oregon to the North Pole. So there's Brothers, and let's go right back to the North Pole. Yippee! Whee! Huge drop! We're Superman!
Well, you realize that if Superman actually traveled that fast, he would set fire to the atmosphere, right?
Correct. This is how we know that the ISS is in an Earth's atmosphere. That was a great side point. Okay, so we're 5,148. 5,148. So let's do OR equals 5,000, what was it? 5,148. Blah, blah, blah.
So on the y-axis, what are the units there for elevation?
We are doing this in kilometers.
So that's so the first point you made intersects at about 4,600 kilometers up.
So right now, the intersection between the line of the North Pole and the line of altitude intersects at about 4,600 kilometers up.
Ooh,
that is correct. Nice. 4,600 kilometers. So for Oregon equals 5,000. Fuck, I forgot again. So let's see what it is real quick. 5,148. So 5,148. 5,048. Boom, zero, boom, and bam. There it is. There's Oregon. Now, what did we say the angle of Oregon was? 43.8 degrees. So let's go ahead and do this again. So we will bring out our angle tool again. 43.8 is what we're looking for. Let's go clockwise to 43.8 and hit OK. And then we will draw a line on that angle. So let's find out. And oh, look at that. We're already running into a problem. So Craig, I don't know if you can see this, but these lines are intersecting not over the North Pole.
Yeah, so that second line would indicate that Polaris was about 4,900 kilometers up.
Yeah, so let's see. So at first, Polaris was over the North Pole about 4,600. Now we're at 4,900, and now Polaris is not over the North Pole. It's over Canada somewhere.
So what you're saying is with two measurements, we've got now 3 possible positions for Polaris according to the flat Earth.
Oh yeah, it's very fucked up.
Wow.
It's very fucked up.
That's 150% error.
Yeah, well, it actually gets slightly worse. So what we're going to do is we're now going to fly to Tampa, Florida. So let's go to.
Wait, did you just say we're going to fight Tampa, Florida? I don't know if I'm up for that, actually.
Oh my god. So anyway, so let's draw another measuring from the North Pole, and let's go to Tampa, Florida. Yippee! We're going past Canada, past Georgia, and there's Tampa. Beautiful. 6909.74. Okay, so let's do 6909. Let's just do 6909 because that's good enough. So Tampa, Florida equals 6909 for the
Now-
x-axis, 0 on the y.
Is
Boom.
it true that on Google Earth for Tampa, Florida, there is areas that are blacked out, and that's because you were there when they were taking the pictures, and it broke the
Correct.
cameras, right? Yeah, that does make sense.
So the angle of Tampa, Florida is 27.9 degrees. So let's go ahead and graph that out.
Oh, I bet this is
So-
going to sort it out and make it all point in the same place, isn't it?
Oh yeah, fucking tell me about it. So 27.9, just to make sure we're not bullshitting. Yep, 27.9 degrees is what we found. Clockwise, hit OK. And now let's go ahead and draw a ray for that. And what do you fucking know?
Oh.
We have another contradiction. So Craig,
wait,
I have a
what?
question for you. Is Polaris here? Is it here? Is it here? Or is it over here? Or is it over here? Or is it over here? So it looks like...
No, I know what's happened. We've got 6 different Polarises. Polarisi? What's the plural of Polaris?
Polaris says. So anyway, I now want to say time. Time. There is. Hit that stopwatch, motherfuckers. How long did it take me, even with all of Craig's interruptions, to debunk that sorry piece of shit?
Well, I forgot to start a stopwatch because it didn't work, but
It's
it was
okay. That's why
it was
I
about 9
asked
minutes.
that, because they can't be relied upon.
Yeah, you
So-
can't trust me for shit, man. Come on.
So this made two fucking scale that even flat earthers fucking agree with, shows that there is a contradiction with the flat earth model when you look at the EQ altitude angles. Wow. Gary, come on, dude. You were supposed to give me a challenge. Why do you make this shit so easy? Fuck.
So Gary, it took like less than 9 minutes to debunk that. So
man.
what do you say? Now, also Gary is being a little coward because Gary refuses to come on the channel.
Of course.
Yeah, he's going to all the other creators, to MC Toon, to Mr. Sensible, and saying, I'll debate Reds on this channel, I'll debate Reds on this channel. Reds is in my basement.
So
I'm the one that
so
kidnapped
apparently-
him. You want to talk
So
to Reds,
apparently-
you come to me.
Now here's the thing. The reason why I ask people to time me is, and a lot of people have gotten this, so 10 minutes and roughly 15 seconds is how long it took, even
Okay.
with all of Craig's interruptions. Now the reason why I ask people to time me is because I asked for this to be graphed out over a week ago.
Right, so Gary's response is Red has a problem here, and it's because he assumes that every degree is 69 miles and that every 10 degrees is 690 miles. How did that work out on your radius measurement on your recent video? Now, when you calculated the radius from the EQ mounts on your recent video, you had a 8% margin of error. Now,
Correct.
that was based on straight line distances, was it not?
That was not based on straight line distances. That was based on driving distance.
Right.
So the reason why there is an 8% error is because we drove 8% further than we would if we were doing a perfectly straight line as the crow flies. Roads turn, they twist, there's corners, there's deviations. And
Right.
so what we did was we took the driving distance into our calculations to give a value for R. And the reason is because that can be measured directly over anyone's vehicle odometer.
Yeah. So what would happen if you took those distances and did straight line measurements?
Well, we can actually figure that out because, lucky for me, I actually saved all of the points. So I'm going to share my screen.
Yeah,
once again.
he does say in the chat that, see, Reds is Craig's employee. No, you spelt kidnapper wrong.
So, Craig, can you see my screen?
Let me just get it up. That's what she said. But come on, why is my computer choosing now to be slow?
Your
Yes,
computer's always
we have your screen up.
Okay, perfect. So we're going to show Walhalla and Alice, Texas. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we have here. So as the crow flies, that means we are ignoring the drive. If we were to hop into a plane and we had enough fuel to make it all the way to Alice, Texas in a perfectly straight line, what would the distance be? So what I did was what I'm doing right now, I should say, is I'm measuring it out on Google Earth. Again, north to south, there's no problem between the flat Earth model and the globe. And here we have 2,350.18. So what I will do is I will write that down so that we don't forget it. 2350.18. And we're going to find a value for R. Now, what was the degree difference that I found in the video that I posted on the channel, Craig? If I remember correctly, it was like 21.15.
Something like that. It was about 8%.
Yeah, 21.15 degrees between these 2 points. So, if 2,350.18 kilometers equals 21.15 degrees, what does 360 degrees
Whoa, Reg, you're doing math, dude. This is it's not going to be good for flat earthers. And there's quite a few of them in the chat, apparently.
Yeah, I know it's fucking horrible, isn't it? It's absolutely horrible that, I would, do math. So basically, here's how you would do this. Math, okay? You would do 2350.18 divided by 21.15, and that would be equal to x, which is the distance we're trying to find, over 360 degrees. And so if you wanted to rearrange this, then what you would do is that you would have the total of 2350.18 over 21.15, and then you would multiply that by 360, and that will give you x, and then you take x and divide it by 2 pi, and that will give you the radius of the Earth. So I'm going to break out a calculator.
It's just wizardry you're doing right in front of us.
Yeah. So 2350.18 divided by 21.15 equals that, times that by 360 equals that, divided by 2 divided by pi is going to give us a radius of the Earth of 6,366 kilometers roughly.
And how far is that from the actual measurement?
Let's find out. So, okay, Google, what is the radius of the Earth?
The mean radius of Earth is 6,371 kilometers.
That's pretty damn close there. I think that's within 1%, within maybe point.
I'm sorry. So let's see. Let me just write this down so that just in case people tuned out. So I found 6,366. So 6,366 kilometers, and the accepted value is 6,371 kilometers. Interesting.
Interesting indeed. So what percentage difference is that? Just out of interest.
Just out of interest, the percent difference. Okay, so let's go ahead and find out. So I'm going to go like 6,366 divided by 6,371, blah, blah, blah. I'm 99.9% accurate.
So there's actually a 0.0008% discrepancy you've got there.
It's an accuracy of 99.9%. So again, that is if you do it differently than what my video was illustrating, which was the driving distance. The driving distance is always going to be longer because there's turns, the
roads and shit.
It's a perfectly straight line. It deviates. So, but if you ignore that deviation, you actually get a value of 99.9%.
Wait. I don't believe this. In Britain, we're taught that there are no curves in American roads. You just have straight roads. Is that not true?
Most of the time it's true, but sometimes we do have left turns and some that go right as well.
All right, what's Gary saying? All you have to do is everybody gets together and asks Red to debate me on somebody else's channel apart from FTFE. The challenge is there, but he won't accept it. The challenge is here. You want to debate, you come here and do it. It's fine. Stop being a little coward, Gary. You're angry at me for being a big meanie pants because I'm rude sometimes. I'm never rude unless the flat earther is. And that's been demonstrated so many times. Stop making excuses. You know that you're not getting to debate Reds unless you do it here. So you are the one that is stopping it happening. Just stop being a little baby and come and debate Reds on the channel. Here is what will happen, right? I won't even be in the call. I won't be connected to the call. It will be simply you and him. He can introduce the show and everything. All I will be doing is producing and streaming it. But it will be done on this channel.
To be clear, people, I can't produce worth a shit. I do not have Craig's entire arsenal when it comes to producing the show. If I were to produce the show, it would literally just be a screen share of my computer monitor. It's not going to be a good looking show. So what I said to Gary is that fine. Craig won't even be in the call.
No.
We will have a debate, just you and me, nobody else. And guess what? The only thing that Craig is going to do is produce the show on the other end. He won't have the opportunity to interrupt or to be involved or anything. I understand, Gary, that you're scared of Craig, but don't worry. I can hold him back for you. You don't have to worry. So, Gary, it will be just you and me and nobody else. And I'm willing to have a conversation with you tonight.
Yeah.
Right now. All you have to do is send Craig an email. He will send you the link. You will jump in. And then the very moment you do, Craig will exit the fucking party and it'll be just you and me. And then we can have a conversation about how you fucked up your graph.
Yeah, it's amazing. But regardless of you being an absolute coward, Gary, which is what you are, being is an absolute coward, what do you say to the fact that Reds just debunked your 30-minute video in about 10 minutes? Please respond to that, because Reds, as always, great work killing the flat earth. That's why I kidnapped you and forced you into my basement. He's complaining that, I'm controlling Reds. I'm Red's employer because I pay him a wage. Now, when I say I pay Reds a wage, what I mean is I give him enough food and water to not die. So, I mean, is that technically a wage? I guess.
I mean, maybe. It's not a good one.
Did I feed you today? I don't remember.
You could at least give me some, health insurance, maybe some paid time off. Benefits would be nice.
You don't even know that I've got someone else living your life. No one knows you're missing.
Oh, of course, how it is. So basically, the way it's going to work is this: or let me start by highlighting a few things. Gary made a graph or a chart or a diagram, whatever the fuck you want to call it, and he plotted supposed angles that meet at Polaris over the North Pole. We just debunked that shit live using actual angles and an actual graphing program to do it. Then we did the math right here in front of you guys to show that when you take everything into account, it comports with the radius of the Earth, the shape of the Earth, everything that we have been saying, especially since the posting of my EQ video, which Gary is ignoring. He would much rather pay attention to a live stream where I was doing this off the cuff rather than paying attention to the video where I actually took my time making and the information listed within that video. So, Gary, my challenge to you is one of two things. One, address the video that I made or 2 actually show up into this call and have a conversation.
Yeah.
So again, we will. Oh, but actually, there is a number 3. There is actually a third one. The third one is, or you can actually just admit that, you know what, you're right. No need for a debate. No need to make another video about this. No need to whine and bitch in the live chat. I accept, Gary accepts that he was wrong the entire time, that his little diagram, that his angles were plotted incorrectly, that he may have either fudged numbers or just straight up fucking lied. So that is another option, but we'll see what he chooses.
And people in the chat that are saying Reds decides where he debates, to be clear, not if he wants to live, he doesn't.
Let me also point this out. Gary was like, oh, what about McToon? What about this? What about that? Let me make this very fucking clear for you, Gary. Let me make this very fucking clear. No matter where we have this debate, the debate will be on FTFE, because this channel is also mine. I want my content to be on my channel. This channel is also mine. So if we hypothetically do have it on MC Toon, or if we have it on Simon Dan's channel, or if we have it on Mr. Sensible's channel, or if we have it on Planar Walk's channel, if we have it on whatever fucking channel, what will happen is that video will immediately get taken down and reposted here. So,
or it'll be simulcast.
You're not going to get away from this. I want to post my own content on my own channel. So if you are going to debate me, it will be posted on this channel, regardless if you like that or not.
Yeah. Now, Gary is refusing to answer the fact that you've destroyed his video. And he's saying, oh, well, Reds is wrong anyway because his lines are parallel and they don't ever intersect. How far can you zoom out on that program?
Oh, you can zoom out pretty fucking far. So,
like a few light years?
Let me go ahead and try this. So what we're going to do is I'm going to share my screens one more time, and we are going to do this. Hang on one second. GeoGebra.
So, Gary, honestly, answer me a serious question here. Why do you refuse to come onto my channel? Why do you refuse to come onto my channel? That Reds is a part of. He is part of this channel. We both put content on this channel. Why are you afraid?
Yeah, it was also mine, bitch.
Yeah. Reds, he is part of FTFE. This channel belongs to both of us. We both put the content here. So why are you afraid to come onto the channel that Reds is literally a member of, a content creator for, a part owner of, with the content that he puts on here? Why won't you debate him? Because you are now the one saying that I'm not going to do it unless it's on somebody else's channel. Well, that's you making that decision, not Reds. Reds gets, if he does something on this channel, he makes the money from it. I give him the money that he makes from his content. So why would he give that up to go on somebody else's channel?
I pay myself, motherfucker. That's the way this shit has always worked.
Yeah.
So let me go ahead and share my screens one more time. And we're going to do this live, okay?
Yep. Let me just get that up. 2 secs.
All right. So let me know when we are good.
You're up.
Okay, perfect. So now what we're going to do is we are going to plot out some lines of visual angles, so altitude angle lines, but on a globe. And we're going to see if parallel lines do actually meet if you zoom out far enough. So let's do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put top. So this is just going to be the top of the Earth in our diagram here. So that's going to be 0, 0, boom, there's top. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make another point called center. This is going to represent the center of the Earth. Now, I don't want to put anything on the x-axis, so the x is going to be 0. But for the y-axis, I'm going to put negative 6371 kilometers. So we're working in kilometers. Boom. Now, if I were to zoom out, like I'm talking all the way zoom out, this is going to take a little bit, but bear with me, guys, and you'll see exactly what I'm doing. you'll actually see the center point that represents the center of the Earth right there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do circle with center through point, and that's going to be between my top and my center. Actually, let's do that the other way, because circle with center through point between center and top. There it is. Beautiful. So this is going to be the surface of the Earth. This is the Earth to scale in kilometers, so you can see it all the way there. I'm going to put just a few random points on the surface of this globe, okay? So let's put a point here. Let's put a point here. And let's say fuck it, and let's go down a little bit, and let's put a random point here. Okay, so we have points A, B, C, random fucking points. Now, if we have a star that's very far away from us, where would we put that? So let's go ahead and name this star. We're going to pretend that there's a star that we can actually graph on this. We fucking can't, but we'll get fucking close. So on the x-axis, we're going to put 0. And for the star, what we're going to put is 9 big fucking number million away. So obviously, this isn't a real measurement, but we're talking very, very, very far away. We're talking light years away. Light years. Now, okay. Craig, can you do me a favor? Can you look up how many kilometers there are in a light year?
Computer, how many kilometers are in a light year?
1 light year is about 9.46 trillion kilometers.
9.46 trillion kilometers.
9.46 trillion, and we're talking about Polaris that is over 40 light years away. It's fucking nuts. So this distance, while long, will give us a good representation of what we should expect to see on the Earth. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a segment between A and the star. Then I'm going to make a segment between B and the star. And then I'm going to make a segment between C and the star. Oh, look! All of these are meeting at the star. They're all meeting at the same fucking point.
Are you able to zoom out that much? Because the star
is so far away, they look parallel. Amazing, huh?
Are you able to zoom out that much?
Oh, absolutely not. There is no fucking way in hell I'm going to be able to zoom out like that. That's almost impossible.
Theoretically, could it happen on there?
Theoretically, yeah, but I'm going to be scrolling for quite a fucking while. I'm going to be scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. Yeah, you ain't getting there. This is you could do it if you had enough time, but I don't. So
yeah.
Yeah.
But the point is that when you plot out the actual angles that you get from the EQ mount to be able to view Polaris, and you plot them onto a globe, that it shows the lines are parallel, which is what we expect them to see from our point of view. All right, they are correct. The tiniest of 1/1,000,000th of arc seconds off being actual parallel, but you know, to us that's how they're supposed to look if they're pointing at a star that is many light years away.
Correct, exactly. So if we were to plot what we actually see on a globe, they would look parallel. And that's exactly what we would expect to see when looking at a star that's light years away. And so Gary's saying that, oh, well, they don't look like they meet. Fucker, it's about scale. It's about scale. You don't understand the scale in which our model is based on. Fuck.
Someone says if you hold Alt, if you hold left Alt, you zoom way faster. I still don't think it'd be fast enough to go 40 light years. You know.
So hold left Alt and zoom fast. Oh God, yeah, that's actually a very good thing. Damn. Okay, so let's zoom out. Let's see how long this takes. All right, hang on 1 second. Still zoom. Nope. I still can't do it. it eventually just stops zooming out and like, this is impossible, you fucking asshole.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically with a star that is very, very, very far away, you would expect the lines of altitude to be parallel. For Gary to not understand this is for him to admit that he doesn't understand the scale at which we are speaking.
Okay, yeah, and Heat Shield makes a good point. Actually, the lines technically could be completely parallel and not even meet because, you know, stars are way bigger than Earth. So they all could be pointing at a star, even if they are perfectly parallel. Right? Red, you still there?
Yeah, correct.
Oh.
I mean, just look at our own sun compared to the Earth. Our sun is absolutely massive. And so if we were to draw parallel lines directly out from the Earth, they would all intersect the surface of the sun. And Polaris being so far away, those lines are going to look parallel even though they are going to meet at that point light source, which is light years away. But even if they don't meet, they would still be meeting with the surface of Polaris, which again is larger than the Earth by a big fucking factor. So needless to say that if Gary wants to debunk the graph, then what he has to do is he actually has to make a graph to scale and use actual measurements, plot them out, and show how they meet at a point that doesn't contradict literally everything that we know about reality. He would have to, he would have to also understand that that a point light source that is super far away, that even though the lines look parallel, they could actually not be. They could be fractions of a fraction of a fraction of a degree tilted towards something.
Yeah.
You know, okay, so obviously I'm going way over Gary's head here, so let me say this. Gary, in order for you to back up your bullshit, you have to use proper measurements. Let's just start there.
And come here.
Use proper measurements and make your graph to scale. You didn't last time, and that's where you fucked up.
No, you used like double-ruled paper that's not even graph paper with a wonky line on it. Like, how did you even put those degrees on there?
Yeah, how did you measure it out? How did you make this to scale? So it's like he basically made a hearsay summary of what he was trying to show. He didn't show any proof. He just drew a right triangle. He just drew a right triangle on some paper, arbitrarily put degree values there, and claimed it was fucking fact or reality or whatever. That was based on reality.
Yeah. All right, let's have a look what he's saying. So he says they would never be meeting with Polaris. He's so full of shit. Have him zoom in on his parallel lines to see if they even come close to intersecting anywhere or if they just remain the same distance. As we've just explained, it's irrelevant to the point. They could, if they were pointing to the very center of Polaris, then they would intersect at that point. However, to us here, at the measuring tools we have, they would still seem parallel because it's so far away. However, all three lines could be pointing to Polaris and be completely parallel because Polaris is about, I don't know, 50,000 times bigger than Earth? Maybe more? What type of star is Polaris?
It's, I don't know the exact dimensions of Polaris. I don't know what kind of star it is or whatever.
I think it's about 50,000 times the size of Earth. So, you know, all three lines could be completely parallel and pointing at Polaris. Gary Weybenga says you use a protractor and you draw down towards the ground from Polaris as your starting point. Then how did you get it so wrong? Because they do... Wait, hold on.
Wait a minute. No.
Wait. You use a protractor and you draw down towards the ground from Polaris as your starting. So you didn't even give them the correct distances away from the North Pole.
Correct. What he did was he reverse engineered it to work. God
what the
damn.
Fuck?
So basically what he did was he drew these lines starting from Polaris working down, and then he arbitrarily put the degrees in there or arbitrarily put their distances away from the North Pole. He has arbitrary figures in his diagram that was not made to scale. That's where he fucked up. Unfucking real. Unfucking real. I can't believe that. Actually, I can believe that shit because he's a fucking dipshit, but yeah. Just wow. Just fucking wow.
Oh my god. This is why I won't come on FTFE's show. He's dishonest. What have I just been dishonest about?
Oh boy. So
Gary, I read your comment out and then pointed out that that would make the distances from the North Pole completely arbitrary on your diagram and not reflect reality. Yep. How am I being dishonest there? Oh, goodness me.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is this. Hey, let's not use a star. Let's use Pluto. Craig, I need you to do me a favor.
Roger.
Find me the distance between Earth and Pluto.
Find you the distance between Earth and Pluto.
Yes, correct. Go ahead and ask Siri or whoever the fuck you have.
Computer, what's the distance between Earth and Pluto?
Yesterday, Pluto is
6.583 billion kilometers.
6.583 billion, or
6.583, yeah.
Okay, so let's just say 6 billion. 6 billion, okay. So let's say the star is as close to us as Pluto. So we're going to do, so 6 point whatever, so 6 billion.
Do you want to screen share again?
Yep, I will be in a second. So 6 billion, so 6, 1, 2, 3 million, 1, 2, 300,000, 1, 2, 3. Perfect. I think we can zoom in on that.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for Gary to tell me how I was dishonest by quoting him verbatim. So what he's saying is if I read out what he's written, then I'm being dishonest. Is that right?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That makes sense to me. Flat earthers tend to lie. I won't go on FTFE show because he's a big meanie pants. He quotes me, and that's a lie.
All right, I'm now sharing my screen, so I'm going to put some random points on the globe. I did.
Gary, you make my brain sad.
Yeah. So let me draw a segment, and we will do A to star, B to star, C to star. There we go. Perfect. So now we have this. All right, there we go. Let me zoom out. Okay, Craig, can you see the circle that was made to scale?
Yes.
All right, this represents the Earth. Do you see these lines? Do they look parallel to you?
Zoom in a bit more. Based on the data I've got there, they look parallel.
They look parallel. Okay, perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom out, and we're going to see if they fucking meet anywhere.
Oh, sorry, I promised I wouldn't sing on my channel again.
Oh, there it is. Oh, look.
Wait,
look at that. We have them meeting at a point called star.
Huh. So what you're saying is that that's representing the distance to Pluto.
Yes, this is
so
point
if we set up EQ mounts to track Pluto, it would to us look like the points are parallel.
This is assuming that Pluto is where Polaris is. It clearly fucking isn't. But
no, if there was a star the size of Polaris where Pluto is, we'd be pretty fucked.
Yes, we would be pretty fucked. Is absolutely true. But what this is demonstrating is something very simple. We can show that these lines are all meeting at this point. They all meet here. However, if we were to zoom out,
meet.
Yes. So if we were to zoom out and zoom out and zoom out and zoom out and then we were to zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, blah, 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 keep zooming, we can see that the lines look like they are parallel, even though they objectively meet at a point.
It's just CGI magic, NASA trickery.
No, it's just me using an actual graphing program when I said I was going to present a fucking graph.
Right, let's see what he's saying. Gary Weybenga says he's supposed to zoom upward to where the parallel lines are going towards. You guys are deliberately acting stupid. Sorry, what now?
What the fuck is he bitching about now?
I need to read that again. I may have stroked out for a second. He's supposed to zoom upward to where the parallel lines are going towards. You guys are deliberately acting stupid. Didn't you just do that?
The point. We showed you the point that the lines intersected at. It was called star. I literally plotted those lines to meet at star. And the star is again, assuming the distance to Pluto was the distance to Polaris, which it fucking isn't, but just for our scale model, it shows that even though the lines meet at that point, they look parallel when viewed from the Earth.
Now just zoom upwards.
What the fuck does that even mean?
He zoomed out to show you how big it was and then zoomed back in. I think he wants you to just drag the screen down to show the lines going all the way. I mean, that's going to take a while at 6 billion kilometers.
Yeah, we're talking 6 billion with a B.
Right, can you zoom in directly on the star?
I just did. Does he want me to do it again?
Oh, no, wait. No, you're right. You did. Never mind. Apparently, Astronomy Live has proved that Gary faked something. Do you have a line to Astronomy Live? Could you get him?
I do have a line to Astronomy Live. You want me to send the link?
Yeah, yeah. So Gary says, no, you didn't do it. You leave it where it was and follow it upward.
What the fuck is he talking about?
Yeah, he literally wants you to drag the screen all the way down, showing the lines, like, getting closer together.
6 billion kilometers. 6 billion with a B. This motherfucker really wants me to spend, like, an hour dragging my cursor between Earth and Pluto, which is, again, 6 billion kilometers. I zoomed out and I zoomed in on the star. I zoomed out and I showed you exactly what was up. And not only that, but what I did was I plotted to have the lines from the Earth intersect at the star, which is, again, at the distance Pluto is.
All right. He says, no, leave the graph
parallel.
No, leave the graph like you originally had it and then follow the lines upward any amount of distance you want.
What? I will screen share.
Right, okay, right. Cinema Control's got a point. All right. Zoom in at 3 different points and measure the distance between the lines.
Understood. Okay, I can do that.
Thank you, Cinema Control. It's a very good, a good suggestion. Thank you.
Very good, very good. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. So I'm now screen sharing one more time. All right, let me know if you can see it.
Yep.
Okay, perfectly. You can perfectly see that?
Yep.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to, let's start here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make 2 points. So let's put a point here and a point here. I will make a segment between here and here. And what I will do is I will ask my computer to measure it for me. So, Craig, write this down. Close to the Earth, we're at 2636.34.
Hold on.
Okay.
I'm just getting 2636.34. All right, now go about a third of the way up and do it again.
Okay, so we're going to zoom out a metric fuck ton, and we are going to still zoom out a metric fuck ton, and we're going to go up and up and up and up. We're still dragging up, still dragging up, still dragging up. Okay, I think that's far enough. So we will zoom in, and then I will make another point between here and here. Draw a segment between those 2 points, and then I will have my computer measure the distance. Okay, here it goes. 2632.
2632.01. Okay, interesting. Good. So it's got slightly closer together. What's that, about 1 billion kilometers you went there?
Something like that. So now we're going to zoom out a metric fuck ton again, and we're going to keep zooming up.
And I think that was only about like 10 million that you went there.
Yeah, let's zoom out a little bit more.
And Astronomy Live is here. Let me just let him in.
Mm-hmm. So now I zoomed out a lot. Okay, I went up like a metric fuck ton. So let's zoom in on these lines. Okay, so I'm now going to make a point between here and here.
So that's
I'm going to make a segment between here and here. And then I'm going to have my computer measure its distance. 2,274.63.
0.63. So between going, what's that, 824,056,000 kilometers, you've gone from 2636 to 2279.
So the lines are getting closer together.
Yeah. Definitely.
Amazing.
Now, zoom in about 9/10 of the way to the star.
Okay, let me zoom out a bit.
A lot.
Yeah, a lot. So that's where we started. That was the most recent measurement, and there's the star.
Like, you see why this would take a long time, Gary, to, you know, scroll down bit by bit, showing the lines getting closer together. It's literally 6 billion kilometers.
But what I will do is I will go halfway through H and the star. So let's zoom in right here, halfway through, and this is the last time I'm doing this shit. So let's zoom in, keep zooming in, keep zooming in. As you can see, there's still 3 separate lines. So let's go ahead and put a point here, point here. We'll make a segment between this point, and then I will have my computer tell me 987.
Wow. So it's like about 38%-ish of what it was?
So again, the lines are in fact getting closer together. Even though they look parallel, they're not.
Amazing.
Amazing. Absolutely fucking amazing.
Now,
it's amazing what...
Astronomy Live has joined us. Astronomy Live, hello, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can. Glad that you could join. Thank you very much. So this is about Gary Weybenga, or however you say his surname, and apparently you have evidence that he faked his graph.
Well, okay, yeah, people were asking to read my comment because I caught on to what he was doing the instant he said what he said, that he was drawing the lines from Polaris. I think you already kind of caught on to it, that he was drawing his lines and measuring the angles from Polaris down to the ground. Thus, he wasn't measuring the distance of Polaris from observers at particular latitudes on the ground. He was finding the spots on the flat Earth where Polaris would appear at those angles, but those spots do not correspond to the correct distances between each other or the correct distances to the North Pole, which you already pointed out. Yeah. So he was force-fitting a result, therefore he was effectively faking his results. Right?
So basically he was taking the angle, moving it until it lined up on Polaris above the North Pole, and then just saying, well, that's where this location would be.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that also goes to why earlier he mentioned something along the lines of, well, Red is assuming that 1 degree is 69 miles, 10 degrees is 690 miles, something like that. he wants to make the case, I guess, that the distances between points of latitude on the Earth are not what they're supposed to be.
So he
if I
says in the
travel-
chat he wasn't force-fitting anything, it's what reality is. Right, well, Gary, the question then, I guess from Astronomy Live and me, is how did you confirm the distances from the North Pole to the locations that you were saying? Because that's the entire point, right? If we're going with any kind of equidistant projection map, distances north to south are correct. East to west, it gets progressively worse the further you go away from the North Pole. But north to south, the distances are correct. So how did you determine that the distances from the North Pole to the locations that you had those angles at were actually correct, like Reds did by plotting them on a graph? He says, that's right, Craigie, that's how it works.
He's not really.
Oh, fuck
he's
me.
not answering your question. Could you do this? Can you pull up the Reds graph of those points and then compare it to his graph of those points? If you just look at those two, you can see that the distances between the three observer points are not they're not the same between those two graphs. They're quite different. The ratios. Just look at the ratios of the distances.
And exactly, Astronomy Live, which is why I actually posted on Twitter the actual graph. So people in the live chat, there is the link to the Twitter. And Craig, I'm going to send it to you right now so you can make a comparison between the shit that he showed on screen and the shit that I was able to plot out. And you can actually see that there is a very distinct difference when it comes to the scale.
Right, okay, give me 1 sec. What I can do is...
That's what he would see.
Let's get his up, and then let's get...
So there's his. Now look at where those supposed observers are.
Fade them in so that you can see both of them. Yeah, you can see that his... Right, the first two on his are pretty damn close together. Yours a little bit further apart. But they're... Alright, you could almost say that's okay for the first two, right? But the third one, his is at least twice the distance away, which does not match reality.
His Florida is almost twice the distance away, exactly. So this motherfucker fucked up the scale and is trying to make the claim that his bullshit proves something.
All right, so there's Gary's on its own.
That is what happens when you don't put scale into account, or when you don't take scale into account. When I was measuring the distance from the North Pole on Google Earth, that was to make sure I plotted them accurately to scale. And then when I do plot the lines of altitude, I can see what it would show in reality. Gary fucked up the scale, and he wants to make the claim that his is the correct one. Bullshit.
I honestly, I mean, I glanced over his video and laughed how wrong it was to start with. I didn't realize quite how wrong he'd got this.
Yeah.
Gary, this is something that I have to do quite often when dealing with flat earthers, but I am now reevaluating how dumb I consider you to be. And it's dumber than I thought you were, which is hard because I thought you were pretty dumb to start with. Reds, on a scale of, I don't know, 1 to 4, what is Gary's IQ?
I mean, can I go into the negatives? I think I can go into the negatives, huh? I'm going to say -5.
Yeah, it sounds about right. Jesus Christ.
I have a question for Astronomy Live here. So, with the angles that we have found and the EQ mount video that I made or something like that, you can confirm that before I actually made this video, I spoke to you about the video first, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
And it was during that conversation that we had another idea where you have access to multiple telescopes from all over the planet. Can you please describe this for me?
Yeah, I can. So I have access to telescopes on itelescope.net. In fact, anyone who joins as a member on itelescope.net can have access to these scopes. No, I'm not getting paid to say that, but it is a paid service. However, for a reasonable $20 a month, you can have access to telescopes in Spain, New Mexico, California, and Australia. So right now, if I wanted to, I could log into a telescope, except it's already in use right now. But there's a telescope in Spain that is open to the sky right now that I could log into. It'll be dark soon in California and New Mexico. If the weather is clear there, I would be able to log in. Unfortunately, it's cloudy in New Mexico tonight, and it's looking pretty cloudy in California as well. But on a clear night, you could have access potentially to not only my own telescope, like I'd have access to my scope here in Florida, I'd also have access simultaneously to telescopes in New Mexico and California. New Mexico and California. And I've used that to my advantage before in measuring the parallax of various NASA space probes, Perseverance, all the rest. So you could theoretically use that to take a picture of the North Celestial Pole with up to 3 telescopes simultaneously. My scope here in Florida, a telescope in New Mexico, and a telescope in California, all at the same time. And look at the altitude of those scopes over the horizon to actually measure where the North Celestial Pole is at these various latitudes, all simultaneously.
Correct. So I want people to understand that as of right now, I am currently working on a video that will take all of those data points into account, and we will be making an EQ mount part 2 video that will not only shit on Gary, but every flat earther that thinks like him. So just before we wrap up, I just want to say that it was an absolute pleasure.
It's not over yet. It's not over. Are you sat down and do you have appropriate facepalm protection? Just checking. I don't want any lawsuits. I mean, you're kidnapped in my basement. Absolutely. I mean, you know, there's not really any seats or anything. Are you on the floor?
Yeah, go for it.
The analemmas of the sun and moon both have long, wide loop in the south and the narrow, small loop in the north. My Polaris angles are correct.
What?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So yeah, I'm going to say that this is over. It's been a pleasure to debunk Gary, but I can only take so much stupid for one night. So yeah.
What does the sun having a small or big loop have anything to do with Polaris?
This is the part where Gary starts reaching.
Should I start trying to teach him about the equation of time, or maybe save that for another night?
I mean, I think we should start with simple things like eating with a knife and fork, tying your shoelaces, putting on your crash helmet when you go outside. Those kind of things, I think, are more important to his well-being at the moment.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, I'm officially burnt out. I have made multiple graphs. I have made multiple measurements. We have Astronomy Live here who's going to give me actual angles to work with for the next video. So they will be based on real-life measurements. And just like, you know, the last one was based on real-life measurements that you could honestly do yourself. Gary doesn't understand scale, and that's his fucking problem. And you know what? His inability to understand scale, he's going to have to deal with that on his own. But, you know, it is what it is.
Well, then I think what it's time to do is read the super chats and get the fuck out of here.
Absolutely.
I know at the beginning of the stream we covered things that we don't normally touch upon on my channel, drama stuff. That is the only time it will ever be mentioned. It's done with. Watch Red's video. Red's video is the final nail in this business. And after that, the people will not get any more responses from us. That's it. They're done. This channel is about debunking flat earth and anti-science stupidity. They are not worth our attention, but what we said earlier needed to be said. I do apologize if it irked anyone, but it needed to be said. When the integrity of myself and my friends is brought into question, and when they try and use someone's death as leverage to try and call someone a scammer, I can't sit by morally and let that go unchallenged.
I want people to know that it will not be mentioned again on my channel or this channel or any channel that I'm on, because we got to kind of walk away from this kind of negativity. If people want to act like that, that's on them, but that's not us. So sorry for the beginning of this stream, but hopefully moving forward, we never have to talk about it ever again.
Yeah. Gary, once again, what the sun does is completely irrelevant to the angles that you get to Polaris. They are not correct because according to you, Florida is twice as far away than it actually is.
Correct.
And look me in the eyes here, Gary. Look me in the eyes, because I think I need to say this to you. and understand this is me being nice, Gary, all right? You're a fucking idiot. Okay? Fucking idiot. That's all there is to it. Right, super chats. Thank you very much, everyone that super chatted. I really do appreciate it. It allows me to get the dog food that I chuck Reds every couple of days. Bella Charge for $5 New Zealand says, "What's up, fuckers?" Oh, Astronomy Live. Actually, thank you for giving me Red's location so that I was able to kidnap him. That was nice of you. Cheers.
Yeah, no problem.
Cool.
They got him off my hands, so I don't have to stare at his face anymore. So
I know. I did think about that.
Both of you.
Do you want any water today? Yeah, that's what I thought. Adrenochrome Slurper for €5. A bunch of globe emojis, thank you. Richard Pudasev for $5. Mistake number 1, assuming Polaris is above the North Pole. Polaris is slightly off from the North Pole in the sky. Reds will still destroy the Flurf anyway. I know, but for, basic kind of modeling and calculations, assuming it's directly above the North Pole is perfectly fine. Richard Pudasev for another $5. Classic cold hard logic. Polaris has to be in a different places at the same time. A paradox of geometry that the flat Earth can never overcome. Nice job, Reds. Yeah, Reds, you do kill the flat Earth nicely.
Thank you.
Alison for $2 Australian. First personal dome, now personal Polaris. You've all got your personal Polarises. Better Charge for $2 New Zealand says, "Too many sixes in that number, must be a conspiracy." It's all a conspiracy. Richard Pudasev for $2. "You know you've won when a flurf admits dishonesty." Yeah, I'm dishonest because I read Gary's quote verbatim. Connell Silver for $5. "Gary, you say they're dishonest. Get on the show and prove it. Get on the show and show your work. Prove your math. Stop hiding in the comments." Gary won't because I'm a big meanie poo-poo pants that's too crazy, apparently, to be on the same stream with. Alex Snow for $5 says, "Make the distances and percentages in stages to show him how it changes over distance." It's a good suggestion, but it would go over his head, apparently. Right, let me just check I haven't got any more. I did see a few members as well come in. Thank you very much, guys. Your names will get added to the thing going along the bottom. No, that's all the super chats. Right, Astronomy Live, thank you for coming on. If you guys haven't seen Astronomy Live's channel, it's some of the best kind of space footage and views of the ISS that you can get. You recently spotted Apophis, right?
yeah, I did some tracking of Apophis about a week ago, and I'm going to compile all that data into one big series of time lapses and determining the orbit and all that stuff. I haven't actually processed the raw data yet, but we did a live stream watching it as it crossed through the sky in the telescope. Just this morning, actually, we tracked ISS live, so I had live views of the space station from my telescope.
Yeah. Some of your ISS views are the best. The one that Red's actually put in the video, that it looked like the ISS was close because you had it zoomed in so well, and you could actually see the angle of orientation change as it had that 8 minutes that you could track it for. And I thought, wow, if that isn't fucking evidence for the globe, the fact that it has, from your point of view, it has to change its like orientation to still keep like gravitationally locked. I thought that was an excellent demonstration of the globe if people understood the ISS was real. So keep up your awesomeness. And yeah, if you haven't subscribed to Astronomy Live, please do, guys. Reds, any final thoughts?
Yeah, I want to answer a question and then I'll post a link.
Yeah.
At Reds Rhetoric, serious question, Reds. How did you actually get interested in recording rockets? Asking as a fan. Well, thank you very much for being a fan, and thank you for having such poor standards. What got me involved in rocket launches, because I was always chasing that perfect shot for rockets. What initially got me involved with rockets was to debunk flat Earth, because a lot of people thought that rockets don't actually launch. Like the rocket launch itself is what was fake. And so I went to Cape Canaveral and I filmed it myself. I said, no, you can go there and see it for yourself. And that was great and all, and it demonstrated my point. But then I started seeing other videos of rocket launches, and this is where Astronomy Live came in. This motherfucker has the best equipment that one could possibly ask for, and his videos are just amazing. These rocket launches are, or the rocket launches that Astronomy Live has filmed and uploaded are some of the best amateur videos of rockets you will ever see on the internet. He was actually the guy who beat me to an unbroken shot from launch to landing. He is the only guy to have beaten me in getting the money shot. And so basically what got me involved in trying to get the perfect shot of rocket launches and upgrading my equipment and trying everything I can to just get the money shot was because I was chasing Astronomy Live's perfection. So Astronomy Live, you, sir, have inspired me to up my game by a metric fuck ton. Wouldn't have gotten here without you. And I just want you to know that through all these years of chasing you, I have not been able to beat you in terms of quality. I've only been able to beat you in terms of actually being the only one to get 2.7 million views, so still go fuck yourself.
Yeah, that's fair. And to tell you what, Red, you inspired me to up my game, because originally I was using just my hands to try to move the telescope, which was shaky as could be. This was years ago.
God, what is this, 2002? Using your bloody hands?
Oh, I know. But this was the Falcon 9 that exploded mid-flight with the cargo dragon. Red got some amazing footage of that, and that's where I first saw his footage. I'm like, holy cow, he did a better job than I did. Okay, time to step up my game. And so I came up with my tracking software from there and decided, I've got these fantastic motors on this telescope, why not use them? So since then I've definitely improved my game. But I tell you what, when I was the only one who had that unbroken shot after the first Falcon Heavy launch, that became a point against me. The conspiracy theorists claimed that it had to be fake, because how could I possibly be the only one who got that shot? Surely I couldn't possibly be that good at it, right? So when Red finally got it as well on the Arabsat Falcon Heavy launch, like, at least then I could kind of wipe my brow, say, phew, see, this is proof. It wasn't a fluke. It wasn't just me. It is possible. It can be done.
Yep, absolutely. And before we go, guys, there is a video that is currently unlisted, but it will be made public, but I want to give you guys first dibs. So I'm going to post a link to this video. What I'm asking everybody is to please give this video a watch from start to finish. It'll clear everything up, and then after that, I'm never going to talk about it ever again. Thank you guys for your support. Thank you for the love that you have shown, not only me, but Fight the Flat Earth, Astronomy Live, and all the people that make this awesome. So I do want to say R.I.P. Bull, you will be missed. Thank you for being an awesome friend. Thank you for being like a brother to me. And with that, I'm just going to say thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much.
We will always be here to entertain you guys and debunk the stupid. Don't think any drama like this will ever take that away. We're here for you guys. And if some of you need help, then you know what? Reach out and we'll see what we can do. A couple more super chats just came in. Alison for $2 Australian. Tell Reds that I'm going to steal his gear at some point. Got a challenge there, Red.
Neato.
And Rocky Bixby for $5 Canadian. I wonder if Flerfs get confused with a map when they realise they have to travel further than 6 inches to travel across the country. These cows are small. These cows are far away. Right, well, that's it for tonight, guys. Thank you very much for your awesome support of the channel. It absolutely means the world. Thank you, Astronomy Live, for coming on. Thank you, Reds, for surviving without the water that I'm supposed to give you. R.I.P. Bull. And remember, stupidity is not a right. Fight the flat earth. Fight the flat. 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 Fight the flat.